A deadly pair of earthquakes left a path of destruction in Venezuela, and now families thousands of miles away are waiting for answers and trying to help loved ones start over. WSAV's Isabella Baez spoke with a Coastal Empire woman who says her family was among those impacted.
Well, Tina, Dorita Gutierrez says she was talking to her mom, who still lives in Venezuela, about 10 minutes before the first earthquake struck. Her family then lost communication for the next few days, saying she has no idea what was going on and all she could do was wait for answers.
Be there, can't help, can't really know what was happening.
Heartbreaking is how Dorita Gutierrez, also known as Miss D at a local school, describes the past few weeks. Originally from Venezuela, she moved to the States a couple years ago, leaving her mom and most of her family behind. They live in the epicenter of where the earthquake struck.
One of my cousins he's still in Venezuela, but he's in a different state, and he just text me, do you know something from mom? And I just was texting with her like 10 minutes later.
She says earthquakes aren't unusual in Venezuela, but when she found out the magnitude of the one that hit on Wednesday, June 24th, she couldn't help but panic.
He was really bad. So in that moment, I start texting her and we don't get any answer.
Gutierrez says in a matter of seconds, her and her family's lives were changed forever.
So my mom back to me and say, we are okay. She was in shock.
She then heard the heartbreaking news that 4 family members lost their lives and 1 was left severely injured and their homes completely turned to rubble.
One of my cousins that is still there lost one of her sons. Her daughter is in the hospital in a compromised situation. One of my other cousins, she lost her 2 daughters and her husband, or her family, and the house too.
Now, thousands of miles away, she's trying to do all she can to help her family and the place she once called home. Her cousins having to pay to bring the bodies of their loved ones home to have a proper funeral, and some sleeping outside as they're left without a roof over their heads.
We need help, and we need a lot of help. My family need help, but everyone there needs help. Everyone lost someone there.
The family has set up a GoFundMe to help the rebuilding process and to help purchase daily necessities. You can find a link for that on our website at WSAV.com. As well, Baez, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Isabella, thank you. A Savannah teen is dead and a DeKalb County police officer is now facing felony charges. 19-year-old Seth Eccles was shot during an arrest Tuesday night after investigators say he complied with an officer's commands. The GBI says DeKalb County Police were investigating the armed robbery of a U.S. Postal Service mail carrier earlier that day, where agents initially spoke with Eccles, who was a person of interest, and allowed him to leave. Later, officers learned Eccles had an active arrest warrant. Authorities say he ran from officers and hid in the woods before 911 calls reported a suspicious person moving through backyards. About 7:45 Tuesday night, DeKalb County Police Officer Derek Harris found Eccles, who complied with verbal commands at gunpoint. Court documents say Harris was holding his gun in one hand while trying to handcuff Eccles with the other. Investigators say Eccles was lying face down with his hands behind his back when the gun accidentally fired, killing him. The GBI charged Harris with felony involuntary manslaughter and reckless conduct and has been released on bond. Savannah Police have made an arrest in connection to a shooting that injured 1 person Wednesday evening. Police say 51-year-old Weldon Roberts turned himself in at the Chatham County Detention Center today. Investigators say Roberts is accused of shooting a man in the leg in the 600 block of West 31st Street around 5:15 yesterday afternoon. Roberts is charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. That investigation into the July 4th mass shooting at Coligny Beach has led to another arrest. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office says a 22-year-old Beaufort man is now the 5th person charged in connection with the shooting that left 8 people injured. Deputies arrested Jacob Johnson yesterday afternoon. He is charged with breach of peace, aggravated in nature. The shooting happened the night of July 4th after a fight between 2 groups on Coligny Beach escalated into an exchange of gunfire. 8 people suffered non-life-threatening gunshot wounds and were taken to the hospital for treatment. Johnson's arrest follows 4 others, 18-year-old Jaden Hawes and 2 17-year-olds, Marcelo Royal and Quazair Davis, each facing attempted murder, weapons charges, and aggravated breach of peace. A 4th suspect, 17-year-old Christopher Capers II, is charged as an accessory after the fact. Well, the search for suspects continues, but today the focus shifted to what is next for safety on Hilton Head Island. During a special town council meeting, Sheriff P.J. Tanner showed a video from teens involved in the chaos surrounding Coligny Beach shooting, showing fights, drinking, and what he called open defiance of law enforcement. Tanner says it's part of a growing trend of teens breaking the law in plain sight and recommended a teen curfew. Several members of the public spoke in support of the idea.
Cameras, more cameras alone are not the answer. Cameras help solve crime. They do not stop bullets.
These are not isolated incidents. We're losing our community. Many of us no longer feel safe.
The fact that this is going to get worse. It's going to get a million times worse. If you think this is just the beginning, y'all haven't seen it. I've been seeing it for a year and a half.
After hearing from people there, Tanner's council members agreeing that something needs to be done. Town manager Mark Orlando is working on an 8 p.m. teen curfew policy for the island. He is asking for 30 days to work on the legal language for that new ordinance. A new Hilton Head Island police force is still a question mark. There have been calls for community resource officers to enforce town laws directly. Well, the town could use the $6.9 million currently paid to the sheriff's office through assessments to start its own department. Orlando says a full study will look at the costs and whether it's a viable option. New details tonight in the case of the Savannah State baseball player detained by ICE. The attorney for the 22-year-old says his client did nothing wrong, and he believes a paperwork error during his transfer to Savannah State is what led to his detention. WSAV's Jillian Coles spoke with Johan Sandoval's attorney about this case and what comes next as they work to get him released.
Tina, Johan Sandoval's attorney says he did everything expected of him, remained enrolled in school as a full-time student, has no run-ins with the law, and was never informed of a mishap with his student visa. He says his arrest is the result of a mix-up he didn't have a hand in.
According to detention, as the first approach in this kind of case was quite frankly beyond overkill. It's extremely dramatic and catastrophic.
Savannah State University baseball player Johan Sandoval arrested by ICE agents on July 3rd for what his attorney John Jaya says was a minor bureaucratic issue.
It is about a school transfer paperwork issue that involves a federal system that the federal government and universities interact with called SEVIS, that federal law places in the hands of school officials. Not students.
Sandoval came to the U.S. on an F1 student visa to attend Bryant and Stratton College in 2022. According to Jay Haas, somewhere in his transfer to SSU is when the mishap happened, and Sandoval was never notified.
He remained continuously enrolled as a full-time student and was never informed by either school or the government that there was any problem with his status. He learned of the issue for the first time when ICE detained him.
Jay Haas says Sandoval is now in a detention center in Western New York, over 4 hours from where he was arrested and from friends and family. An ICE spokesperson told WSAV during that arrest Sandoval tried to flee on foot, which Jay Haas says is a mischaracterization.
He did not attempt to evade the law. He did not attempt to evade ICE, and he did not engage in any conduct suggesting that he was trying to escape.
SSU filed a new I-20 document to get his F1 visa reinstated, according to the attorney. And Jayha has filed a formal motion with immigration court to get Sandoval out on bond.
Detaining him serves no purpose. He should be released so he can finish his degree and move on with his life.
WSAV has reached out to both schools for comment on the alleged paperwork error, and SSU spokesperson said this, quote, "The university has fully cooperated with counsel and has provided Johan's attorney with all requested documents to support his legal representation and assist in this case," end quote. We have not heard back from Bryant and Stratton College. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Jillian, thank you. 8 South Carolina National Guard Apache helicopter pilots are temporarily grounded after their July 4th flyover along the coast. The Guard says the suspension is part of a routine review as questions remain about the flight profile during the Salute from the Shore event. Major Lisa Allen says the pilots are still reporting to work and are being paid, but are temporarily assigned to non-flying duties. She says the move is not punishment, but a standard procedure when a flight profile is under review. The Guard has not said what specifically led to the investigation, only that it is reviewing the helicopter's flight paths.